Hi, I'm Peter Drakulich, and as always, you guys are fantastic. I want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of Coach's Corner, brought to you exclusively by World of Special Finance magazine. Today I got this question from Raj, who's a special finance dealer in Toronto. That's my hometown, so we're already connected there, Raj. I appreciate this question because I seem to get it quite often, but in very different specific venues, so I've been able to narrow it down to one formulated answer that should cover everybody. Reg is asking me, how do I handle specifically an incoming phone call for a special finance customer when all they're interested in finding out is how much am I approved for? You know, Reg, that's a very good question. It's probably one of the toughest objections to overcome on the phone. I'll tell you why the customer's gotten to that point, why it's such an important objection for them. They've already been to a few dealers, they've been hearing the same message, they get over there, they're all excited about being approved, and wham, they get to the store and nothing turns out to be what they were told it was going to be. It's very frustrating. So now it's all they want to know about is, am I approved and for how much? What you have to do is you have to stick to your gun. I suggest writing out a script. This way, you follow the same process every time and you never deviate. The important thing to get across to the customer, more than how much they're approved for, is what they have to bring in to drive home. As much as the customer wants to know how much they're approved for, you want to know whether or not they've got the proper steps to get an approval at all. Here's the steps I definitely have them bring in. You want pay stubs. You want to show that they make at least $200, $250 a week. You also want to make sure that they're current, like nothing over 30 days. If they got a year to date that's small as well, deal with that when they get to the store. The next is proof of residence. You want like a bank statement, you want like a phone bill, you want like a utility bill, something that proves that they're attached to that address in their name, not in their daughter's name, not in their son's name, not in their mother's name. It's got to be in their name so you know that they live there. Obviously, you need a current and valid driver's license. If you don't have that, you know what, you really don't want to take the risk of putting them on the street. Now again, whether you're a buy here, pay here dealer, or whether you've just got special finance lenders, I would say the next one is a social insurance card. You got to prove that they're somewhat, if they're legal, the contract's binding. If they're not legally in the country, your contract might not be binding. Next, you want proof of identification. In addition to a driver's license, you want something like real firm, like a birth certificate, a passport, citizenship card. Now here's where I get a little vague with the customer, especially on the phone. I ask them to bring in the cash and the trade that they're working with. And of course, the next question is going to be, well, how much do I need to bring? I usually leave that up to the customer. The more you bring, the more options I create. You bring in a little, I'll have a few options for you. You bring in a lot, we'll have a few more options for you. Make sure you bring the title for that trade in, and we'll get you on your way right away. Now I'm going to rewind and I'm going to say, prior to getting all that information across to the customer, you should have taken the time to make sure they got a pen to write it down. And make sure they're writing it down. Test them on it, ask them questions, make sure they spelled it right, whatever it is, but make sure they're writing it down so they bring that list. Now, if you've taken control over the phone and made sure that you focus on the steps rather than the approval or how much they're approved for, again, there is no limit to how much they're approved for. They can be approved for Ferrari if they've got enough down payment, enough cash, and the right steps in their pocket. Handle that when they get in the store. I'm Peter Drakulich, and as always, you guys are fantastic. I want to thank you again for watching Coach's Corner, brought to you exclusively by World of Special Finance Magazine Canada. Remember, the only thing stopping you is you. Keep driving up sales.